War Machine, episode 17. Gonna do some more cool shit. Here we go.
All right, here we are, back again. Check it out. Look what I did. Finally got some lights in the whole room, shop, garage, whatever you want to call it, whatever. Either way, it's nice. I can finally see and have a little bit more room. So now I'm gonna walk into this dark section into my wash bay in here. We're gonna move on to the next section of this, which is putting this dashboard from this truck. Ooh, nice and dirty area to have to work. Yes, we're going to put that in here. Yes, in our nice, clean, new, ready hole right there. What are we gonna have to do to put it in there? I have absolutely no idea, but I'm gonna start by mounting it on those 3 studs right in the center. So here we go. I got the dash all out of the 2000 model. I kind of spared you guys that stuff that way. It didn't take that long, really. It took me like an hour to get it out, so not too big of a deal. Well, let me show you. I took some initial measurements to kind of get a rough idea how this thing's gonna fit, so I could see where maybe I could make some, I could trim on it a little bit preliminarily, so when I stuck it in there, hopefully I don't have to do too much more work with it in there. So let me show you what I did. All right, I apologize, not a lot of light in here. I'm doing the best I can. So what I did, this is a stud that sticks out that this wire's hanging on. So, and the cab with the other firewall in it, I took a quick measurement from this plate, even with that stud right there, a measurement from there to right here. Now that's the mounting surface of where the factory dash was in this 2000 model truck. So that brings us to here. So measuring from here on the other truck, measuring from this to the edge of that flange on the dash was 6.5 inches. Well, on this truck from here to the edge of the door jamb here was 7.5 inches. So here's our mark for 6.5 inches. Okay, so that should be about where the mounting flange that's on the dash now sits. So let me show you what it looks like on the dash. Okay, so now this gives you a little better idea for how this sat. Basically, the dash set up in there. This is the side that would be to the firewall. This sat on that flat portion on the A-post on the 2000 model. You see, that set, well, it would be like this actually. That would be vertical, okay? So, if I measure this, woohoo, stay with me. Measuring it, this would be to 6.5 inches right here. That line, because that's right to the back edge of that flange right there. So now what I did was I measured, because if you can see, that's basically just a big L bracket, okay? So this, and measuring to the exact same point on the other side, was 63 3/8 of an inch. So when I measured the inside of the cab from A-post to A-post was 63.5. So what I'm gonna try to do is cut this guy flush right there on each side and cut this little section of the flange off. And with a little bit of luck, this guy might just slide right up in there, in which case then what I'll do is I'll use this hole right here, and then I'll use this hole right here. I'll mark them on my A-post that I've already put in, and I'll put some riv nuts in, and then I'll just bolt it here and here on both sides. So let's scan out. Let me try to get these cut off, and then we'll come back when I'm getting ready to try to put this thing in. Okay, so I got those pieces all trimmed off. So here's my plan. I'm thinking I'm gonna get it, and it has a 10mm bolt in the center of the dash that bolts it to the firewall. My plan is I'm gonna hopefully sit this thing up in here. It's gonna slide right into place. I'm gonna start that 10mm bolt, and it's gonna hold this whole damn thing in place, and it's just gonna fit pretty close right out the gate. Sure, sounds like a good plan, right? I mean, why not? Could work, could happen. Also, So I was looking, and with only an inch right here from where that mount bracket was, I was originally thinking I was going to have to trim like a whole lot of the plastic off the dash and everything. Let me show you this. This might be really cool. Walk with me. All right, so here we are. Let's see. Okay, so this is where we just cut that flange off, okay? So we extend 1 inch, which is about to right here. That's the edge of the door jamb. So I might not even have to trim off any plastic. No, I might have to figure out what I'm gonna do with this area right here. But I might not have to trim any of it off. Wouldn't that be cool? All right, well, I'm about to bust with anticipation, so let's find out. I'll see if I can find a spot for this camera where you guys can actually see something here. All right, so let's see if I can lift this thing and slide it up in there where I want it. What are the odds that it'll fit perfectly first shot here? Oh boy, kind of heavy. Incoming. Mind you, if you remember when I originally cut this floor apart, it's got the 3 areas across the top, one here, one here, one here. I'm gonna have to like clamp those in place and weld them once this all sits in here, hopefully where I want it to. I'm not real sure how I'm gonna get this up. No? I'll figure something out. Let me find my 10mm bolt that's sitting in here. Damn it. Oh, some help would be good right about now. Another human being would be fantastic. Fucking my home. Of course, I had it kind of sitting right where I wanted a minute ago. I couldn't get my bolt. All right, well, I started. It's kind of holding itself right there. If I can just figure out how to get this tool in here. Okay. Tighten this one bolt up. Okay. Well, that should be enough for me to get a look anyway. See what's going on. Hey, that ain't too bad. That's not bad at all. That's, how about that? Oh man, that is sweet. I can't believe that fit that good. I've got about, I don't know, an 1/8 of an inch gap over here maybe, if any. And the top is almost sitting against it. Now granted, it's just kind of roughly sitting in here, but for the first shot, and it to be sitting in here, that thing's heavy. Woo! All right, so let me give you a quick tour of what we're looking at. Now mind you, it is just roughly sitting in here. It's gonna have to come up just a touch and kind of roll towards the front just a touch, but you can see it's actually not bad. Gonna have to do a little bit of trimming on this side. Not too bad though. And then let's look out across our windshield here. You can see where I did the body drop on it a little bit. Took about an inch off of it, but the overall shape of it though is not bad. It's not bad at all really. By the time I roll it into place, I think it's gonna be really nice actually. I'm gonna front, looking pretty good. I mean, it actually sits in there real nice. I did not expect it to go quite so smoothly. Over here, you see you got some overhang into it. Gonna have to probably cut it right along here. But not bad though. I mean, all this stuff is workable. I can cut that down, a little fiberglass work, a little plastic work. No problemo, but for the most part, for it to actually be sitting in there with a bolt holding it in place in the factory location without having to do anything but cut 2 tabs off, super, super happy with that. All right, well, it's the next day, so you'll have to forgive me. I got a little excited because my dash was actually in there, and I've been waiting for something like that for quite a while. So there were the 3 brackets that go along the front of the dash. I got those kind of, I made some new ones, and I tacked them in place. I'll have to show you those once I get the dash back out of it because you can't really see them for shit right now. So anyhow, I got a little excited, got ahead of myself and forgot the video, but I went ahead and started kind of cutting and clearancing my dash in the door jamb right here. All right, as you can see, I've already been kind of whittling away at that just a little bit. But I got her all, you can see this red exposed part right here. That's the edge of my pinch weld right there. You can see I kind of got her cut and fitted all the way down through there. So my next step now is to see if that guy right there, see if it'll fit and go on there. So let's see if our door closes. Hey, it does. Let's see what we look like in here. Oh wow, it's got actually quite a bit more clearance than I thought I would have. I've got a little room there because I'm going to make me a little door panel, but all right, let's put our next piece of trim on. Let's see here. All right, so like I said, we're going to try to put this piece on now. Well, there it is, all snapped in place, snapped right in like factory, like it should. So perfect down here at the bottom. Hoping this will clear because I really don't want to have to remake this whole piece right here. I don't mind remaking some stuff in the jamb right there. That's not a big deal, but I'd like to leave this at the factory shape if I could, because that'd be really nice. So let's close our door and see what we get here. See if you can see from over here. Hey, we're clearing. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, got us a nice gap there. Actually, it looks like I kind of prematurely maybe cut a little bit too much off the back half of the dash. Right back in here. Let's see if I can find that piece on the ground. If so, I can put that, I can mold that back on anyway. That's not a big deal because I'm probably just going to paint the whole top of the dash anyway. That way I can kind of finish it in with some fiberglass and some plastic repair stuff. So that right there is exciting because she is trimmed up. Now all I got to do is do a little body work on that, finish that dash up. It should be in good shape. So let's go over to the other side. All right, well, I'm glancing at the passenger side, and I don't think I'm gonna be so lucky on this side. I'm gonna have to do some cutting over here. Hopefully not too much. Let me show you what we're dealing with. As you can see, got a lot more overlap. I don't really know why, because, well, I don't know why. It's made a little different on this side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take me a piece of wood and a pin here, and I'm gonna start whittling at this thing, and we'll come back, see where I'm at, see what I end up with. Hopefully it turns out good. Wish me luck. And here we go. Here's our finished product. Definitely had to do a little cutting on that bad boy. But still got a nice look to it by the time I finish it in. Up here, I'm gonna try to finish in this so it looks a little nicer, fits a little tighter around this A-post right here. Should be nice though. Let's close the door, show you what it looks like here. There you go. I took the door panel off because it was hidden, because it sticks out like over an inch up there at the front, and I'm gonna make some new ones for it anyhow. So there you have it. That bad boy is in there. Now I gotta do some finish work on it, but all the mounts are there. I went ahead and I've made marks for the holes on that side and this side through those steel plates, so I can put those riv nuts in. And let me get it back out of there and I'll show you where all that goes.
All right, so got the dash, it's all fitted, got the sides trimmed up. They need to be finished out, obviously, but I've got it all trimmed up where everything's clearance. So before I take the dash out, there's a few things that I definitely need to fit and make sure they're where I want them to be. Now, I toyed with going with the factory emergency brake for the F450, or just installing line locks like you might use on a drag car. You know, you just flip a switch, you push the brakes down, you flip the switch, it holds the brake pressure on. I've used that before on 4x4s with a lot of success, but for this one, since I am using the stock floor and stock wheelbase and everything, I'm going to go ahead and put the stock parking brake assembly in. So before I take this dash out, I've got to make sure that I get it fitted in here where it needs to go, because obviously I rebuilt these A-posts myself. So here we go. Let's try sticking this dude in here. I left a chunk of the cable attached, that way I could run it down through the hole, make sure everything still lines up good. It's nice and dirty, obviously, like everything with this truck is. There we go. Now we're going sizzling. So it's still got the hood release for the 2000 model on there. I'll obviously cut that off when the time comes. Right now it's not really in the way. The mount for where the cable was for the hood release was kind of in the way, so I just took a hammer and beat it back so it wouldn't be in my way for right now. So let's make sure we got plenty of room here. Pull the release. Get our pedal pulled all the way forward. So about right there, looks like it's going to be a good spot. I see the wire that comes down that attaches to it. I'm lined up good on my floor right here. So, would have been a really, really smart idea had I brought me an ink pen over here whenever I sat down to make this video. So I'm going to have to move it back down so I can get back up and get that. So let me get a pen so I can mark these holes. So, on the stock, on the 2000 model, on the A-post, it had studs that stuck out off the post to just basically stick this guy up on there and line it up. I don't have that luxury. I could have put studs on it, but I didn't know where I was going to be mounting everything at the time. So basically I'm just, I'm going to put it up here, set it in place. I'm going to mark the holes. I'm going to put riv nuts in instead. So I just got to get her back up here where I had it. Kind of liking that spot right there. So, just gotta stick him back up here and mark my holes. There's one. Ugh. I'm sure I can screw this up real good. Not sure where the third one is right now. So we're clear all the way to the floor there. There it is. So what I'm probably gonna do once I get this dash back out of here, now you got 3 spots here that it mounts up. What I'm probably gonna do once I get the dash out is I'm gonna go ahead, I'll drill this top one, I'll go ahead and put the first riv nut in it and tighten it down, and then see where these holes line up in relation once it's tightened down, because I don't know that I got those holes marked exactly right. Odds are good I really missed them by a mile, so I'll tighten this first one up, then I'll check where they are before I drill and put the other riv nuts in. So that should be all for mounting this guy for right now then. So next step is going to be to get this dash out of here and put some riv nuts in for the dash and for this parking brake cable. So let's pull the dash. Well, there you go. That was a good place to stop this one. I've tried to keep the videos from getting too long. Sometimes I have no choice just because there's certain things in the content that I really want to show. But in this one, we got the dash in there, got it fitted pretty good. Super happy with how that went down. It went a lot easier than I thought it was gonna go. So come back for 18. We're gonna keep moving. We're gonna get the inside of this truck worked out, get this cab off, and just keep rolling with this thing, and man, we're gonna see it roll, buddy, sooner or later. So come back for 18. See you soon.